My name is Elena Parker, and I never imagined that the deepest betrayal of my life would come from my own sister, right in the middle of our parents' anniversary dinner. It was supposed to be a night filled with laughter and celebration. I had spent days preparing a lavender vanilla cake, a recipe I learned back when I owned my flower boutique, Bloom and Grace. It was my way of honoring Mom and Dad's 40 years of marriage, their strength, their sacrifices, their love. The house in Nashville, Tennessee, was alive with conversation. Glasses clinked, people laughed, and for a brief moment everything felt perfect. Until my younger sister, Sophie, leaned back in her chair, her tone cool and cutting. "Helena," she said, her voice sharp enough to slice through the room, "you're the reason we can't move forward. We want to live without you." The laughter stopped instantly. Dad took another sip of his wine, pretending he hadn't heard. Mom froze mid-bite, her fork suspended in the air. Not one person spoke. Not one defended me. My heart pounded, my face burned. But I refused to let a single tear fall. I lifted my glass slowly, took a calm sip, and smiled. The kind of smile you wear when everything inside you is breaking. Then I stood, turned away from the table, and walked to my old bedroom. I packed a small suitcase, a few clothes, some photos, my laptop, and left through the back door without saying goodbye. That night under the cold Tennessee sky, I made a silent promise to myself I would never again let anyone make me feel like a burden. 5 years earlier I had sold Bloom and Grace, my flower boutique, for $150,000. My parents had been drowning in debt, medical bills, mortgage payments, a leaking roof, and I wanted to save them. So I paid off everything, every loan, every bill. I moved back into my childhood room, just for a few months. Those few months turned into 5 long years. Every month, I covered nearly $2,000 in household expenses: electricity, water, internet, property tax, everything. Dad tinkered in the garage, Mom spent her days with her garden club, and Sophie, she grew colder. She ignored me, blasted loud music whenever I tried to talk, and left passive-aggressive notes around the house. Then one afternoon, she told Mom, loud enough for me to hear, that I was mooching off them. The irony was painful. I was the only one keeping that house alive. And Mom, she said nothing. Her silence hurt more than Sophie's words ever could. That night, lying on the scratchy motel bed after leaving home, I saw the truth for what it was. I had traded my independence, my peace, and my happiness to protect people who didn't value me. The next day, I drove straight to the home of my closest friends, Hannah and Jake. When I told them everything, Hannah listened quietly, and Jake said something I'll never forget. "Sometimes people have to lose comfort to learn its worth." Those words lit a fire inside me. I opened my laptop, logged into my bank account, and one by one I canceled every single payment connected to that house: electricity, water, internet, insurance. Click, click. Each cancellation felt like taking a heavy chain off my shoulders. They had said they wanted to live without me. Now, they would. 3 days later, Sophie called, furious and panicking. "Elena, what did you do? The internet's gone. Mom's freaking out. The power's about to be cut off. Turn it back on right now." I took a slow breath and said calmly, "You said you wanted life without me. This is exactly what that looks like." She called me selfish and hung up. I blocked her number. Then Mom called, her voice trembling, full of tears. "Elena, please, we can't manage. Sophie can't work, your dad can't take his orders, and the house is falling apart. We need you." I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and said, "When Sophie said she didn't want me around, you didn't disagree. I'm just giving her what she asked for." Then I hung up. Weeks passed. The house fell into darkness. Unpaid bills, spoiled food, overgrown lawn. Neighbors started whispering. Sophie lost her clients after losing her internet connection. She eventually took a night shift job at a grocery store, stocking shelves under harsh fluorescent lights. Mom tried to borrow money. Dad stayed silent as always. One evening, Mom showed up unannounced at Hannah's house. Her face was pale, her eyes tired. "Elena," she said softly, "the bank is threatening foreclosure. Sophie's working nights, your dad's struggling, please. Help us just until we get back on our feet." I looked straight at her and said, "Mom, I paid for everything for 5 years. You let Sophie humiliate me and said nothing. I'm done carrying the weight of everyone's mistakes." Her eyes filled with tears. She whispered, "I thought family meant more to you than this." Then she left. A few months later, the inevitable happened. They sold the house. The home I grew up in, where every wall held a memory, was gone. They moved into a small, worn-down apartment on the edge of the city. Meanwhile, I bought a tiny condo in East Nashville, close to a quiet park. It wasn't big, but it was mine. I started working again as a floral design consultant, helping local florists with weddings and teaching workshops. Every paycheck went straight into my own account, not someone else's bills. For the first time in years, I slept peacefully. Then one morning a letter arrived, Sophie's handwriting. I hesitated before opening it. Elena, it said, I'm sorry for the things I said. I was angry and wrong. I didn't realize how much you did for all of us. Please can we talk? There was no mention of mom or dad. No real accountability. Just a quiet apology written too late. I folded the letter neatly, placed it in a drawer beside old family photos and walked away. I didn't respond, because she had once asked for a life without me. And now, I was finally giving it to her. These days my life is quiet and full of peace. I have no hatred, no bitterness, only lessons learned, and the biggest one is this: family isn't defined by blood, it's defined by respect, gratitude, and love that goes both ways. Without that, even the closest bond becomes just a burden. I finally understand. Sometimes, to find peace, you have to walk away from everything that hurts, even if it means walking away from the people you once loved most.